Also, does she have Lucian's eye somewhere in a ring that she's keeping? Are we gonna find the piece of his soul?
Oh, Jesus.
You know what I mean? Like, it's somewhere.
Welcome back to the Book Breathing Bitch Queens podcast. I'm Sam.
And I'm Allie. In this episode, we're diving into chapter 32. This is the lore chapter. This is we're back at the manor. Tamlin's gone, and we say, "Give me the truth." And Alice says, "Open wide, bitch." And us, and we hear all the lore about it all, and we end with, of course, tell me how to get under the mountain, and then we go in the next chapter, which that'll be fun. But yeah, this is the lore chapter. Yeah.
So I have nothing for the first page. So if you have stuff for the first page.
Um just that, normally I get annoyed when people act like regular people can track stuff, and I was like, at least she made sure to re-emphasize to us that she is a hunter,
Yeah.
because too many books just have this trope where like people are like follow the tracks. I was like, normal people just see rubble, they don't see
Yeah.
tracks.
Yeah.
So I kind of just like that from a writing perspective.
Yeah, that all of a sudden it's like CSI Prithian. And you're
Hey,
like,
are you a detective?
she just has fucking forensic knowledge now. And you're like, well,
Yeah.
she is a hunter. So yes, she does know how to track and look and see what the scurrying is about. I
Yeah.
have a theory though.
Okay.
My theory is that it was just like Rhys and a couple of guys who came in and said, it's time to go. And they just left. I think all of the wreckage is Tamlin and a Tamtrum. All of it.
Mm,
There's
I
not very much blood.
You don't think Amarantha would come?
No, not even a little bit. And we don't see, oh, she came for him. They came for. I don't think that she came at all. I think she sent Rhys, and I think Rhys said, "You sent her home. Cool. Let's go." And they just walked out because it says, and they just walked out. The evidence is like
Oh,
there's no bodies,
yeah.
right? So I moved across the floor, tracing the information left. It had been a vicious fight, maybe. And from the blood pattern, most damage to the house had been done during the fight, not afterwards. Okay. There was crushed glass. Footsteps came from the front and the back of the house, as if the whole place had been surrounded. Okay, so maybe there's more surrounding.
They definitely at least aesthetically came with
So they bust in.
people.
I'm
Yeah.
good. So then they surround the house and they bust in the door. I think they walked in to it already being crazy. I don't think there was a fight. I
Probably.
think maybe that there was a fight with staff. I think that maybe they came in and staff said fuck and they started throwing staff around. Well, I don't think that there's a full on fight. I think Tamlin and Lucien sat their pretty little fucking asses in the fucked up dining room and waited patiently for them to come in.
I have a hard time seeing Lucian doing that, but I could see Tamlin being reserved to his fate,
Lucien,
maybe.
I think, would have been so fucking pissed and over it that he's like, what else is there to do? You stopped me from going to Highburn and you sent her back. You want to sit here, pretty Tam? Fine. Fuck you. You get to watch me have to march out with you then.
Yeah. Oh, and then the top of the next page is your theory, actually. Top of
Yeah.
276, I couldn't tell if the damage was from his lashing out after Resigned's
Yes.
arrival the day before my departure, or if someone else had caused it. That line definitely seems to point to it, even though I was like, would he? But he would. No, he would. I just was like,
Yeah.
yeah, but that's funny. She already knows it. She already knows he's a tantrum guy.
How is Alice still giving Feyre shit about not figuring it out and still talking about Tamlin like he's a good guy? It boggles my fucking mind.
Yeah, I always thought Alice seemed a little off in this chapter. I was like, it's not really, but I guess she's had a rough time. By the way, I realize now, I went back in the fuck chapter at the beginning, he actually does destroy the dining room stairs in that scene on the page. So she
Who
is
does?
actually Tamlin.
Yeah. No, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. No, he fucks it up for sure.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that. So, okay. But it's funny that she can't. She's like, I don't know if you did that himself. Like, what a toddler. Um, I think Alice is so funny. Like the way she's described is so scary at first, and then it's like, but it's also like a plain cape, medium height. You just like "Ooh, scary. I don't know, but I think it's funny that she sniffs. Although maybe she was just like crying or something, and that's why she sniffed.
Well, and I think that we're also so the next page, right? Alice grasps my arm and pulled me from the room. She didn't speak as we hurried through the empty, too quiet halls, all of them wrecked and bloodied, but no bodies. Either way, either they'd been hauled away or I didn't let myself consider that right, whatever.
Hmm.
So Rhys didn't let them kill anybody.
Yeah. Well, that's why. Yeah.
So your enemy is more of a protector than your fucking High Lord.
Yeah, or they or Amarantha wanted them to do shit in in the mountain, but yes.
Regardless,
Yeah.
Amarantha would have had to send out the order that said, "Go get Tamlin, make sure you bring me back their people unharmed, or bring me back the people alive." Right? Maybe not unharmed, but alive.
Mhm.
So the enemy is doing more for Tamlin's court, the people under his own household, than Tamlin does. That's gross.
It is. Yeah, I can't he's really not easy to sympathize with.
Unless
He
she's
really
thinking that they all
is.
burned the bodies.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Because it says either way they'd been hauled away, or I didn't let myself
Mm.
consider it as we entered the kitchen. A fire had scorched the giant room and was little more than cinders and black stone.
Hmm.
So maybe they did kill a bunch of people and burn them.
No, I think we'd get a lot more description about it if it was that. To me, that looks like the cook
Yeah.
try to do some shit.
Well,
Like these
they're
like
wrecking the place, right?
yeah,
They're fucking
yeah,
it all up. Yeah.
yeah.
If so many things. Um,
Oh, I always never noticed that Alice like she sees Feyre. She's like, "What are you doing here?" She's like, "I had to come back. Something's wrong. He told you not to come back." Then she asks where he is, and then she tries to rip the mask off her face.
mhm.
Do you think she still is hoping that maybe Feyre coming back is like a sign of love that could break the curse? Like maybe that's why she's doing that, or did you notice that at all?
I did notice it. I didn't make a note for it. I like that theory that she's like still a little bit hopeful.
Yeah,
Um,
it's sad.
that or she's just it's like a sign of
Distress, like, "Oh,
yeah,
Jesus Christ, get this shit off me."
yeah,
Yeah, because 'cause I'm
yeah,
sure she feels even more trapped knowing that she's probably gonna be, in
yeah.
theory, stuck with it on forever
Yeah.
now,
Mm-hmm.
until Amarantha's done.
I love that she's like, you
Yeah.
want the truth, girl? Here it is, and you're like, okay,
Mhm.
fucking chill out, Alice, because like you couldn't tell her. You didn't go out of your way to try to fucking charades this to her. How do you expect her to figure it out? And you're like punishing her. You want to know the truth now? Like she didn't ask
Mhm.
for it 7 billion fucking times while she was there.
Yeah, I always thought Alice was a little too weird. I mean, I think she's just pissed and she's just taking it out on people, but it just seemed a little out of character for Alice. She seems like not that seems like a Tamlin thing to do, and it doesn't really fit Alice's character, but
I mean,
um
I can see it being like, well, it's like despair. This is the moment when she's like, "Yep, we're stuck here. This is just the world we live in now.
yeah,
There's no hope."
she's like
Like, and she can be pissed, whatever else. That's fine. And I can understand taking it out on the last hope you did have, and then that didn't work. But it still comes off as like, Alice, babe, cut her a break. What was she supposed to do? You wanted her to fucking make out the Mona Lisa in two fucking false puzzle pieces.
mhm.
Like that she's
Yeah,
not
it's
the readers
yeah.
didn't work it out, she wasn't going to work it out.
It is weird. Yeah, it is weird. Also, I thought the High Lords were under there the whole time, but it says she summoned the High Lords
Yep.
to
Yep.
them. So were they just chilling?
It's what I'm
Okay,
thinking. I wrote that. I said so the High Lords weren't under there the whole time?
or for like at least a good amount of it?
At
Like,
least 40 years since they tried to rise up and she killed them and then she cuz like there's a little bit of like wait, what? Hold on here. This timeline's not adding up.
because
Why
also,
is
why
she
didn't they try to do some shit if they're all not stuck under the mountain
Well, I think they
too?
did.
Well, yeah, no, Winter did, but like, and Summer tried to escape, but that
Well, hold on. There's day court, summer court, and winter court all tried to do something against her, and all those high lords were killed.
oh, Daycourt did.
Day, summer, and winter. It's on page 284. And that was 40 years ago. 40 years ago, she executed 3 of them and most of their families for banding together against her. Day court, summer, and
Right.
winter.
And then more recently, we had the Winter
Uh,
Court with their younglings get killed because they got caught,
yes.
and Summer Court High Lord executed because they got caught trying to go in one of the passageways recently.
Yeah. So for 40 years ago, she killed 3 of them, but still didn't have them under there the whole time because now they have to be summoned again. And she's like, oh, so they're
No.
allowed to be in their courts? Nope, not now. Now they're all under there. Well, yeah, because she just summoned them. Or now, as in 40 years ago? Alice, babe, get your timeline.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, and she had okay, so they had tried to talk to the continent Fae using Children of the Blessed.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Anyways, we'll get to that page.
Yeah, sorry.
But yeah, so that's I wrote that too. She summoned all the High Lords to her court this time to make sure to make them watch her break him. And I was like, so they're not all underneath the mountain already? That
Yeah.
questionable. Now I want to know which fucking High Lords, because if we have 3 High Lords that were killed, I thought that that was the dads of Helion, Tarquin, and Callias, but maybe not, because now we also have what you mentioned.
Well, the Winter Collius was not killed. I think he's been High
No,
Lord for a
they're dads.
while.
They're dads, is what I'm saying. 40
Yeah.
years ago, she executed 3 of the High Lords. So Helion's dad, Tarquin's dad, and Callias's dad. But
Hmm.
then you said that Summer Court, Tarquin just came into power.
Yes.
So then she killed his grandpa and then his dad. And now he's in power.
Well, okay, I think I'm remembering the end, like, because there's this scene. Maybe Rhys was actually talking about 40 years ago, and that's what
Yeah.
he's thinking of. But I thought that Summer Court had a recent, like, when it's during Feyre's time loosely,
Yeah.
and the Winter Court younglings. Feyre is at when they
Yeah.
hear about it, she is at Spring. So, but Collius doesn't get killed for that. They just kill the younglings.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, um,
Anyways, there's a
yeah.
little bit of
Sorry.
discontinuity as to what the High Lords are doing, where they're
Yeah.
at,
Well,
when
I guess.
they are under the mountain, and also, right, they're all supposed to be doing fucking Calumni shit. So, like, are they? You know what I mean? Just saying, it's like
Yeah.
a little questionable what the High Lords are doing.
Well, and also, so I do like the attempt to explain at least why they were afraid to band together or try
Hmm.
something. Show, but like it didn't seem like they were. It's I mean from that part, and this chapter has so much in it. I could be forgetting something else that we'll maybe get to, but from that part, it like it just says okay. So you tried one thing, you got caught, it hurt real bad. So you didn't try anything else for 50 years.
Yeah.
Maybe
And I
50 years
mean,
to them is like 2 months, so that maybe they just don't see. I
I
have a
mean,
hard time
it's
with that.
yes, I'm okay with it feeling shorter, but I don't think it's like too. I mean, Reese is like, for 50 years, I had to bang this chick.
Yeah, I think it's more like a decade or
Yeah,
something.
like it's gonna feel like a long time still.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that this
okay.
this next thing that I underlined, Amarantha is the High Queen of the land and the High Queen of Prythian. I think that this is exactly why Rhys and Feyre cannot end up as High King and Queen.
No, as a, yeah, because of the other reasons.
Well, I could see some people who ship that, right? And being like, that's who they're gonna be. And being like, oh, well, because we started this series with an evil High Queen and we'll end the series with Feyre as High Queen. And I'm like, no, I think that's exactly why they
That makes her
cannot.
Amarantha's.
Yes. Yes. I was
No,
like,
yeah.
for me, it would be like, so you just became your original enemy.
Yeah. Well, and I think even if she became some kind of higher ruler, she would still not call it queen, but I really don't think she would do anything like that.
Also, do
Uh,
you think that Amarantha might have some witchy vibes, by the way?
I've
Really
always kind
long,
of thought that
really
she's
long red nails. She's got some weird shit. She takes more power than what she
she's
is allotted. Just saying.
yeah. No, I think we have talked about Amarantha as being a witch actually, because yeah, she essentially gains power by stealing it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I don't know if that means in terms of throne of glass, like witches by like Manon is a witch, or the Prythian version, which is just stealing power.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So they had the 7 High Lords until a
Mhm.
hundred years ago.
Yeah, and then they had a rise of authoritarianism, which they failed to quell in time, and then they were fucked over.
So we're getting like a backup and a backup. So we get
Mhm.
100 years ago is when she is the emissary for Hybern, and she comes in here court to court pretending like she's wanting to make amends for the war, and then we get the war story, which is
Yeah.
500 years ago.
Yes.
Okay.
War is 500 years ago. Yep.
Okay.
And she's come back saying, "I'm changed."
So that's like I'm trying to like plot out how we get it. So we get like a 50-year ago issue a little bit. Then we're like, it was like that until 100 years ago. And the 100 years ago thing you need to know because 500 years ago there was a war,
Uh-huh.
is how Alice is telling this story.
Yes.
So she's the king of Hybern's most lethal general.
And then she recaps the surreal stuff about
Mm-hmm.
Hybern. Um. Oh, before that, sorry.
Then we get the Jurian. Okay, a little questionable here.
Which part?
Jurian is the commander. He's the commander of the mighty human army with Rhys. But Clythia secretly sought him out. She still loved him with an unrelenting madness. Mates?
Yeah, it
I
could
mean,
be.
he tortures and kills her, so maybe not.
Well, I think you can kill your mate. I think it's just very hard. But maybe if you're human and you don't feel that mate bond the same
Mm-hmm.
way because your senses are dulled to it because you're mortal or something,
Or maybe
maybe you
we're just being
can.
assholes and seeing mates everywhere, just like Rhys is
Yeah.
always in the shadows.
Yeah. Although I will say, Rhys isn't a commander over the human armies. He is commander over like Night Court armies that are
Who,
aligned. Wait,
Rhys?
wait. He's not over the human army specifically. He's just with the allied with the human armies. He's
Yeah, yeah,
over
yeah.
his own men.
Sure, but I was just making note in my own head that this is when Jurian knows him.
Oh,
Because
okay, okay,
Night
gotcha.
Court has allied with the human army.
Got it. Sorry,
And
I was.
later on, when we get Jurian, who is like, "That's not the Rhys I knew," like that's because
This is because of that.
this
Yes,
is that moment. Yeah.
got it. Yeah, that's the normal person. I
Okay,
was
but
like,
here's the
oh, in
thing too. So
technicality, he didn't.
Jurian, I think that this whole story is bullshit.
What?
I think that there's some real weird shit going on with this story because
The whole thing or the
Ju-
Clythia part?
it's just the Clythia part. Jurian commands an army. This Faye, who is the sister to his biggest enemy, second biggest, right? Because Hybern, right, he falls in love with him. He uses her for information, and then when he betrays her, tortures her, butchers her, crucifies her, and then sends the pieces to Amarantha.
Crucifies her. This is so
Crucifies her.
my. How do I
Yeah.
skip over shit like that?
Jurian, the secret good guy? Like, let's be real. Jurian is that, like, incognito gonna be good guy. He starts off with, like, oh my god, they rose him from the cauldron. He's gonna be what? Why would Hybern bring him back in the first place? That's his fucking enemy from the war. Jurian's the
Well,
commander of the human army, and Hybern brings him back. I think he brings him back. He's like, oh, we got a piece of him. Let's see what can happen. Let's see the power of the cauldron.
mm-hmm.
But
I think
why?
I
Why
was
would
saying maybe he
Hybern?
just did it for Amarantha to piss Amarantha off,
She's
but
already dead.
shortly after Amarantha.
She's already gone. I remember
Well, maybe
I know
it's
that there's a reason or whatever. They need his magic or some shit, and they have to use the book.
I
Yada
think
yada,
they just wanted
whatever.
to test her for the cauldron. They're like, we got an eyeball. Let's just see if this bitch will come alive.
But I'm just saying, it doesn't add up that Hybern,
Yeah.
direct enemy, Jurian, the commander of the human
Yeah.
armies, he brings him back? And then Jurian's supposed to be this bad guy who fucking tortured this Faye who fell in love with him because she happened to be the sister of his enemy?
That does sound like propaganda.
Yeah, because then when
Yeah.
we meet Jurian, he's kind of secret good guy. Like he's playing the
Yes.
part of being on Hybern's side, but he's not. And when we get little glimpses of him, he's like, that's not the Rhys I knew. Rhys was honorable. What the fuck? What you know about honor, Jurian? You be crucifying bitches.
Yeah.
Like, what? And then he's on our side at the end. He's just hanging out with Lucien in the human realms, just fucking on his shit, looking for Miriam. Why is he looking for Miriam?
He's not looking for Miriam now, is he?
He's looking for
No,
Miriam
because she
every
comes
time.
at in Hybern War. She comes and he's
Yeah, but
like,
he's not there.
yes, he is. Am I insane?
But they don't. But then she goes back into hiding, doesn't she? And Jurian asks Rhys, "Where's Miriam?" And he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about, boo." There's some Jurian Miriam something.
I'm not remembering that, but yeah, it's probably at the
I
end of
think this
ACOTAR.
is bullshit.
That is interesting.
Could you imagine having your fucking soul stuck in your eyeball, stuck in a ring of a bitch, and you didn't even do the thing that she's mad about?
I mean, I could see him doing it. You know, I'm sure
I
they
could
just saw
see him
lots of brutality,
faking
but yeah.
it and saving her. What if she goes to Jurian, falls in love with Jurian, and is like, "Hey, my sister's a fucking psycho. I need to like bounce." And he's like, "Cool, cool. Give me the information we got. Cool, thank you for being on my side. I'm gonna go ahead and fake your death." So that he fucking kills some other person and sends those body parts to Amarantha, and then he hides Clythia. Is Clythia Miriam?
No. No. I will also say if it gets to some shit like that, I think it's veering into that could seem to be really hard to do well. It'd be exceptionally hard to do that shit well because it'll feel like a soap opera like I was kidnapped and then
Sure.
like
But I just think that there's some weird
there
continuity.
is weird.
There's personality and character discontinuity to Jurian for me. Because we get to see him in this moment where you're like, fuck, that's brutal. And okay,
Yeah.
all is fair in love and war. No, that's too
Sure things get
extreme.
exaggerated too, yeah.
Sure, but like, just imagine if he didn't do this and
Yeah.
Amarantha, her vengeance is for nothing.
Yeah. Well, I do think if Clythia could be alive, she would have put a stop to Amarantha or teamed up with her or something at some point. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
That is
Or
very interesting.
yeah, I don't know. Or she just died and he was like, "Well, let's make the most of this. Let's fucking make it seem like I'm a monster. Send her back her sister's shit. Maybe we'll break her."
Yeah,
Well, why I don't know. It
he's
seems
kind of like a Rhys character in some ways too. Like he's undercover. He's sleeping with
yeah.
this
It
woman.
seems fishy as fuck to me.
Yeah,
Just
he's
gonna
a
keep
bit
it in
of
my
a
back burner. I'm
yeah.
always
No, it's
keeping
very
I'm
interesting.
just always keeping Jurian in the back of my mind. Kind of like I just keep a little of him like just on my hand, just waiting
Yes.
to see what happens with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is insane though, right? After months of stomaching being with her, he got the information he needed, then he tortured and butchered her, crucified her with ash wood so she couldn't move while he did it. He left her in pieces for Amarantha to find. I think we get a Rhys POV flashback chapter in one of these books that is about the war.
Yeah.
And now I want to
He's looking
reread.
for Azrael and Kashan.
Yeah. And I want to reread that because I think it's after this moment.
It is because it's after Amarantha had tortured Jurian. He
Yeah.
mentions like I heard she had tortured Jurian, and yeah, which is interesting. It's just another the sister. The sister
I,
is what did it. Is
right.
Amarantha just what Nesta would have been if shit had gone wrong?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
So Amaranth, so this is her moment. So she kind of already hates humans because she's fighting with
Yeah, because
Highburn against
yeah.
humans, and then
And then
this,
Jurian apparently is the thing that makes her really hate
yeah,
humans. Is that what we're supposed to take away from that?
yes, and then when the treaty happens, she butchers her own slaves rather than saving, like letting them live free. But
Well,
centuries later, so now that's 500 years. So now after 400 years, she comes back and is like, "That was a little crazy. My bad. I want to make amends." So, but centuries later, the High Lords believed her when she told them that the death of her sister had changed her, especially when she opened trade lines between our two territories. She's like, "I'm sorry I went a little crazy. Let's trade."
she decided that she wanted Prithian for her own. That also feels like not the full truth. I mean, is she just a regular Nesta and she was
So,
like, let's just see how far I can get?
but centuries later, the High Lords believed her when she said that she had been changed by her sister, yada yada. The High Lords never knew that when those same ships, the trading ships, came over and brought Hibernian goods, they also brought her own personal forces. The King of Hybern didn't know either. But we also learned that in those 50 years that she was here, so mucking around, and she was amassing her power and to use our land for a launching point to one day destroy the humans. So she wasn't after Prythian at first, sort of.
Okay, it's about humans
Prythian was supposed
again.
to be a stepping point. So she was like, cool, I'm gonna come over here, I'm gonna make good, I'm gonna build an army here in Prythian, and if I need to take over Prythian, I will, because my end goal is actually to annihilate humans.
Mhm.
But then she pauses that.
Pauses it?
She could have I'm just saying, like, did she get so busy with the High Lords that in 50 years she couldn't amass an
No, I think
assault
she was
again
waiting, for Tamlin to, like with her little curse, and she's like,
to
"Once
make
this
her
happens,
life?
I'm doing it."
That seems so weird, though.
Because she doesn't have Tamlin's, like, no, she does have his power. That just feels like a contrivance. Uh,
Yeah, you're like, I'm gonna wait 50 years. You got this time for this curse.
the only way it makes sense is if maybe she secretly needed to maybe she was actually, worse off than she seemed. She needed some
Sure.
time to, like, stock up type shit, and then she pretended like, "Well, it's maybe I'll give you 50
Yeah,
years," and, like,
it just
that's, like,
doesn't seem
a
like
year to them or something, but there is something off about that. Maybe but yeah,
well,
maybe
and
she
it just doesn't seem like Prythian was ever her goal. Prythian is a launching point. Right? I need to
yeah.
bring my sources there, I need to build up my shit there, and then the High Lords are like, "Whoa, bitch, this is not what we're doing here anymore," and then she gets crazy and fucking goes off the rails.
Mhm.
But, like, I don't know. I mean, it just seems a little
Yeah.
okay, like, her end goal's humans to just fucking send a bunch of people over there and kill them all. They don't have any magic, they don't have like, what are you worried about? You have the High
Yeah.
Lords under the mountain. What, Tamlin's gonna fight for humans again? He's gonna be your
That's
only
probably what she thinks, actually, maybe that the High Lords wouldn't let her and she'd have another war, and so she has to be prepared. Because I find it hard to be like, did you make up a curse that lasted 50 years? It seems like a weird, insane thing. And I was like, it only scares if maybe time really is that just whatever to them, which it could be if they're immortals ish. Um, or if she needed cover for like some shit went wrong and with her power and she needed, I don't know, or it's just a clock contrivance. But that's a more fun option, is that there's some kind of reason why she needed to
yeah.
stall for 50 years, but I have a hard time buying into it. I just kind of ignore that plot point a lot of the time.
So 49 years ago, okay, so for 50 years she's hopping around, doing some trade shit, pretending to be a friend, all while like secretly bringing in her own forces. And then 49 years ago she gets wild. Why? She knew that even with her personal army, she could never conquer the 7 High Lords by number or power alone. Why does she need to conquer them? She's trying to conquer the human realms. Why does she need to conquer them?
She must think that they're going to protect them,
Yeah.
or there's some other reason.
So she waits until they absolutely trust her. So there's 2 balls.
No.
There's 1 ball.
Wait.
She waits until they absolutely trust her until they gather at the ball in her honor, not Tamlin's, not Lucian's, no masks.
Hmm.
And that night she slipped a stolen potion from Hybern's unholy spellbook, we'll come back to that, into their wine. So she stole their magic first, not the mask. There are 2 balls. We have the magic stealing night and the mask night. And those are separated by her fucking up Lucian's face.
Okay, after she stole their power, that's when she got hot for Tamlin. And then Lucian was there and she fucked him up. And then there's the second ball. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, yeah, there is 2 balls. Okay. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
that answers some of our confusion from earlier episodes, because we were like, "What
Yeah.
the? I thought the
Yeah.
ball was for this. I thought the ball was for this."
2
Okay,
balls. So
2
she has a ball
balls.
in her honor, and she slips a potion in that she gets from Hybern's unholy spellbook. That's the spellbook that we get.
That's the Book of Breathings.
Yeah. She sings it into their wine. Once they drank, the High Lords were prone, their magic laid bare, and she stole their powers from where they originated inside their bodies, plucked them out of them as if it was out taking an apple from a branch, leaving them with only the basest elements of their magic. Your Tamlin, ew. What you saw, blah, blah, blah. Okay, for 49 years, we have been slaves. We'll come back to the mountain in a second.
Biding her time. waiting for the right moment to break the treaty and take your lands. So
Yes.
she's just waiting for the right moment.
So we have this first ball where she takes their magic.
Mm-hmm.
Now they call her the Deceiver, she who trapped the 7 High Lords and built her palace beneath the sacred mountain in the heart of our land.
That's why we thought they were under there with her, because it says like that. That makes it sound like they're there with her.
Yeah.
But maybe just trapped as in trapped
But
them away from
I
their
just
power.
want to point out we have sacred mountains that are
Yes.
Ramiel, which is up in the north.
Yes. By the
Now
blood, right?
we also have the sacred mountain in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
and that is a bald, monstrous peak.
And so is the north one. It says bald, which is
Okay,
also how thin places are described.
that's
Oh, and the prison is
also
the other one,
the yes,
right?
but also the sacred mountains, the mountains in the south that sing, I think are also called bald.
What's Singing Mountains in the south?
In Throne of Glass, when they go south and they're flying over, and she's like, "Oh, they sing. What the fuck?" He's like, "Yeah, that one sings. It's weird." I think they're described as bald mountains. Those are sacred mountains where the rooks are, and
Oh,
when they're flying over, the
uh,
mountains sing.
yeah.
And I think that's described as bald. And I think that the mountain that they talk about when when Bryce sees the flashback from Thea, that mountain is described as bald.
And I think part of that is because doesn't the black stone, which is that's weird stone, right? Is that that's black stone from Throne of Glass is like what word mark magic
Yeah.
shit is, right? So, because of the blood, right? They touch the black stone. That's their sacred stone. So I'm assuming a lot of these peaks probably have that stone, and I think that's what makes it bald of life is because that stone is there, and it's like this thing that doesn't go. It's like using magic that doesn't belong, word magic maybe,
I'm just
all
saying,
that
if we're
stuff.
keeping
Yeah.
track of what mountains are and what they're doing and how they're
Yeah.
described, there's an argument to be made that these are all the same fucking mountains.
The same mountains? I was gonna say that they're all
You
like the
can't
same kind
describe
of
the
mountains.
Himalayan mountains the same way you can describe the Rocky Mountains. It's a different mountain range. All these mountains be bald?
Well, that's what I'm saying because I think they're all gates. They're all thin places. Because Ramiel and the sacred mountain in the middle, where Amarantha is, are
Hmm.
definitely two different sacred mountains.
Sure.
But
Those are
yeah,
two different sacred, but we
mhm,
also have mountains in Throne of Glass that are described that in different
mhm.
places. We have mountains in Crescent City. We have
Those
like
could be the same ones. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
just interesting.
there's at least two. Yeah. Um.
Lots of things living under mountains too, by the way. Not just under the mountain in this book, but then we have Koshé who's under a mountain. We have a lake that's under a mountain that has a monster in it.
I
We
think
got
Crochet is not under a mountain. I think he's in a lake.
in a lake under a mountain.
Is he? Oh, okay.
Yep.
I don't remember, but
The
I'm
prison
sure
is
that's true.
under a mountain. I'm just saying, lots of
Yeah.
things end up underneath mountains.
Hmm.
You could have been the one to stop her had you not been so blind to your own heart. Alice, give her a fucking break. You guys blindfolded her. She wasn't blind. You blinded her.
Hmm. She does say you couldn't have known later, but I still
Yeah.
am like, dude, you're mean. You're mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I mean, she's probably in a bad mood.
Tamlin and Amarantha knew each other before, so during the war, 500 years ago. His family had long been tied to Hybern. During the war, the Spring Court allied with Hybern to keep the humans enslaved. So his father was very close to the king of Hybern, to Amarantha. Tamlin, as a child, often accompanied him on trips to Hybern, and he met Amarantha in the process. Yeah, it's a little weird for some chick that you've known since you were little itty bitty. That's a little gross. You're a kid seeing Hybern and Amarantha be fucking psychos, and then all of a sudden she's like, damn, I love you. And he's like, no.
Yeah, no, it's
You've
very
known me
gross.
since I was 6, bro. That's gross.
The lust for him with her entire wicked heart. Also, kind of a foil to Feyre because the thing that Feyre's supposed to do is love Tamlin with all her human heart, right? Isn't that what the
Yeah.
wording? Um,
I really liked this question. So Tamlin had once said that he would fight to protect someone's freedom, that he would never allow slavery. Had it been solely because of the shame of his own legacy, or because he had come to somehow know what it was like to be enslaved? It's a good question.
mhm. It's probably both, but he
I think it's number 2. I think Tamlin doesn't realize anything until it affects him. Tamlin's the guy
doesn't.
who's like, Slavery was bad, but that was my dad. That was my dad. I didn't do that. That was my dad. I don't agree with it. That was my dad. I didn't do it. I was little. I wasn't there. Blah blah blah. And then the second that he has to deal with it, he's like, "Oh, I wouldn't enslave anybody because this sucks."
Yeah. I mean, I could see either, but it does kind of fit his character more that it's once he realized, or like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so Lucian goes because he was wary of Amarantha because he knew her shit.
Yeah, he
Oh, and he sends Lucian because he's trying to avoid going to her in person.
yeah. Yeah, so she comes to desire him and he's wary of her. And so clearly she's been there, she's trying to fucking seduce him and he's like, "No, thank you." He's keeping his distance. Then he goes to the ball, she steals his power. And then
No, I think the
Lucian
ball, and then she's trying to get with him.
and kept his distance right up until she stole his power. So she loves him before
Okay,
she
you're right.
steals
You're
the
right.
power. So
And
she
then he
falls
sends
for him.
Lucian.
Yeah, so she's coming after him. He says no thank. He's keeping his distance. She invites everybody to a ball in her honor, slips them all a potion, steals all their power. Then Tamlin's like, "Lucian, my man, I'm gonna need you to go and ask her if we can like not do this. Try to make peace with her." And so Lucia goes up there after she's stolen power, gets into an argument because Lucian's like, "Let's make peace." She's like, "No, I want his dick." And he says, "Go back to the shithole that you've crawled out of." And she carves his face up and tortures him, beats the shit out of him, sends him all back all bloody. Tamlin throws up. And then he doesn't realize that this is a fucking trap. I'm sorry, you just went to a ball where she stole all 7 High Lords' power. And she's like, "Oh, yeah, well, see, was a little harsh of me to gouge his eye out. Why don't you come up for another ball? Why
That
don't you come?
yeah,
Why don't you
there's
like
fool me
stupid?
once. This is twice.
Yeah, right. Like
Yeah,
I
that
get
is
that they all
weird.
trusted her and they all went to this ball the first time. The second time, bro, she has showed her colors twice, 3 times now. You saw her in the war. You know about Jurian. You already don't trust her. She stole your power. She fucked your best friend up so bad that you vomited when you saw him. And then she's like, "I cordially invite you to an I'm sorry party." And he was like, "Bet." What?
Well, at least it's consistent with his character that he
That he's a
doesn't
fucking
learn
idiot?
shit and it takes forever to
Yeah.
learn anything. Yeah. That's
That's wild.
also, does she have Lucian's eye somewhere in a ring that she's keeping? Are we gonna
No,
find
I mean, she did
the
pluck it
piece
out,
of
I
his
guess.
soul that
Oh,
makes,
Jesus.
you know what I mean? Like it's somewhere. She clearly kept the last eye that she carved out. Like, why wouldn't she keep it?
Yeah. She took his eye, carved it out with her own fingernail.
Yeah, it doesn't say she destroyed it, poked it
I
out. She
mean,
took
I don't
it.
know. Maybe.
She has
That's
a history
wild.
with eyeballs.
But she does. She's got weird jewelry.
And I feel like that could come back in book 6. Like, like maybe she fucking made a Lucian Horcrux and he feels it and he's like, let's go figure this shit out. And she did something
Yeah.
weird with it.
Or somebody has his eye and has been doing something fucking
Maybe
yeah.
that's why Elaine doesn't like him as a mate because she can sense some things off with him because he's missing a part of his soul that's in his eye that Amarantha took. And God
That
damn, like
Hybern
that
that
we're getting
Hybern
into
has.
soap opera territory to where it's like almost, but it could be cool.
Yeah.
But you gotta
But then
tread
where would it
lightly.
be now, right? If she had it.
The Ator probably could have taken it,
Ator's dead
maybe.
though. They're all dead
Well,
now.
maybe it took it after she died because it sneaks away after she
Sure.
dies.
So he took it and then he takes it to Hybern. So then Hybern
And
has it,
then
but Hybern's dead now.
Hybern likes, let's get this eye in a safe place. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Probably
Yeah,
it's nowhere, but
I'm
it's
sure
funny.
I'm sure she just fucking
But
ate it.
she's got a
Uh,
history with
she
eyeballs.
does, she
So it
does.
just feels like some.
But it's just okay. But like, look, this is a series of events. She's a fucking crazy general. She does some crazy shit to a dude, right? Then she's like, "Oh, it made me a little cray cray. I just, just had a little moment. I'm sorry."
Mhm.
Invites them all to a ball, steals their power, gouges your best friend's eye out, and tortures him and leaves him bloody. And then she's like, "I'm
Let's have
sorry.
another party.
I'm
Oh my,
sorry. You should trust me
for real
now."
this time.
Like, come on. After that, she hosted a masquerade under the mountain for herself. All of the court was present, a party, she said, to make amends for what she'd done to Lucien, and a masquerade so he didn't have to reveal the horrible scarring on his face. If that's
Okay, this is
not,
what I was thinking of last episode, or
that
2 episodes
tells
ago.
you right there that she does not, what? That's the most mean girl shit in the world. To scratch someone's face and be like, well, let's have a party and we'll just make it like a Halloween party so like you don't have to see your ugly face. What?
Yeah,
Like,
it
that's
really is.
such mean girl action right there. That's some undercut bullshit because she's like, we can all wear masks. It's okay. So now Lucian's gonna walk in and everybody else is wearing masks because he's scarred. So that like it still brings attention to him. That's not okay. And the
Yeah.
entire spring court. She asked you to take the entire. She hurt one of your friends who's not even really. I mean, yes, he's a part of your court now because of some bullshit. But she hurt one of your friends, and she wants you to come back under this mountain.
Yeah. It made a lot
For
more
a party
sense when
in
we thought it was
her
all
honor.
one ball.
No, for a party in her honor to say sorry for something she did to one dude, and I need you to bring your whole court. Tamlin,
Yeah.
my man.
She said, I'm looking for my puppy. You want to get in my white van?
Yes! The entire spring court was to attend, even the servants, to wear masks, to honor Tamlin's shape-shifting powers that she stole. I want you to come back.
Maybe she
Let's
just
have
made them. Maybe because like she has his powers, she's just like, you're coming to a party, fuck you. Maybe she was just like made
No,
them.
I
Is
think
that
it's
possible?
bullshit. I think Rhys is sitting in the back being like, you're dumb, bro. You are dumb. You're gonna come back here? Rhys is like, I've already been trapped. I've already made my allegiance. I'm already like, nom nom on this bitch to try to get her to like not know about Valaris. And you're gonna come back and get it twice? And also, which curses does he make? Is this supposed to break? This is only supposed to break the mask curse. These are two different curse problems.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Well,
we'll keep going. When all were assembled, she claimed that peace could be had if Tamlin joined her as her lover and consort. But when she tried to touch him, he refused to let her, not after what she'd done to Lucien. Okay, well, you shouldn't have been there in the first place. Not Lucien, but Tamlin. You shouldn't have been at this fucking party. He said in front of everyone that night he would sooner take a human to bed, sooner marry a human than ever touch her. So she might have let go had he not said that her own sister preferred human company to hers, that her own sister had chosen Jurian over her. Tamlin.
no, I'd say some shit like that. This is the only time I've ever related to Tamlin. I mean, if you don't have any power, you
Like, I mean, I get it. He's pissed, all the things, but like,
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, yeah. This part I can see.
Well, and then that there's a chance to break the spell she'd put upon him to steal his power. So, all right, it's gonna break the spell of the power and the masks. Fine.
But who? Okay, now I guess it does work if she's like a cartoonish demagogue.
I'm okay with that.
She just did it like because she just doesn't think things through and she's like illogical and crazy. That's who
Mm-hmm.
she has to be to make sense. Like, who would just say, right? I'll let you. It's like playing Russian roulette. Like,
Yeah.
give you a gun and let's see if you could do this. If you could do it, you'll just kill me. Like, what? Like, it's crazy. But I think it's crazy to build in something for your enemy to possibly gain their autonomy back and have that be part of the game. That's like you have to be kind of a madman.
Yes.
But I guess she is. So
Also, okay, here's all 7 High Lords' power is stolen. She gives him a chance to break the spell she put upon him to steal his power.
mhm.
Not everybody.
Mhm.
Do all the High Lords get their power back when the curse is broken?
Yeah, because the curse never actually gets broken. She just dies and therefore the curse breaks.
So when the masks fall off and Tamlin gets his power back, only Tamlin gets his power back first. She breaks the curse because she says love.
So I think he kills her and then his mask falls off as he's like standing over Feyre. I don't think it's instant falls off. Or maybe it would have, but like
I think she says
I think
love,
he
and I think
immediately like feels his magic come back and lunges like before anyone can think. Like I think it's very fast like that.
okay. So we have she says love.
Oh, okay. She does break it with the riddle,
Yes,
not the curse. Okay, okay.
yeah. Tears shone in Lucian's remaining eye as he raised his hands and removed the fox mask. So this is after she says love, and her back is broken.
Okay, the riddle, I just looked it up on 313.
Mm-hmm.
It also says, "You and your solve this, Feyre, and you and your High Lord and all his court may immediately
Mm.
leave with my blessing." It does also not say that it frees the other High Lord. So it must be Tamlin gets his power when
Mm-hmm.
she says the riddle, and then
Mm-hmm.
she dies, and he kills Amarantha. Then the rest of the High Lords get their power, and then yeah.
So here's my question.
Okay.
All of them get their power sucked, right? Tamlin has a loophole for his power. So then Tamlin's goal is to free his curse. He's going to get the masks off. Spring Court's going to get their masks off. He's going to get his power back. Amarantha is still in power. She's got 6 High Lords.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck was his plan after that? Because let me tell you right now, Tamlin wasn't going to fucking save them.
I don't think he had a plan. Like, I have to think he would, because what else could you not? How could you not have a plan?
Tamlin is a dumbass who gets suckered twice. Then he sits on his ass for 50 fucking years. Do you think that he was going to rise up with just his power against Amarantha and free all Prithian? Fuck no.
I think he probably thinks he could have.
I
Maybe.
don't. I think Lucien was the only one who was like, we got to do something.
You don't think Tamlin is egotistical enough to think he could do it? Like, by
Maybe.
himself?
I don't think that that's anywhere in his goals right now. I think maybe if he had gotten his power back, he would have pieced out back to fucking Spring and then been like, well, what do we do now? This is a Tamlin curse
Yeah. See,
breaking.
okay,
This is
now
not redemption for all of Prithian.
I feel like we're gonna have to have a Tamlin book, because there's no way this bitch is this one-dimensional. How could you not just sit? You got 50 years to do nothing but think. Like, you gotta think of
Yes.
something, you
You got
know?
to be
Like,
like, I'm going to break this curse. And when I break the curse, then what forces do I have? Which sources are on my side? If I have my power, I could probably get like all 7, like, oh, maybe she's
mm,
got her, it's like, maybe she's got her claws into Night Court. Maybe she can get her claws into Autumn because he be a bitch and I don't think he likes me and the whole Lucien thing. So he might not be on my side. But that leaves me what? 4 other fucking courts to possibly ally with. I got to get him out from under the mountain. We got to try to ally. We got to do a thing. I got my power. Let's figure this all out. But never once is he like, well, the first step was to get my power so I could save everybody. No, he was
yeah.
always after himself. People are gonna come for me so fucking hard with how much I hate Tamlin. But like, this curse doesn't break everybody's. It breaks Tamlin and his
Yeah.
court. Yeah, it's just wild to me. Like, maybe he has enough ego to be like, if I got my power, I could take her down, and maybe he would have.
I think that would fit his character, and I just can't imagine a character who doesn't. But maybe we are gonna get a Tamlin book.
Ew.
I think. Right? We gotta
I
retcon
think
this
I,
shit so that we
I
can show he as a real human. Otherwise, we got a main character who's not a real person.
I think that we could get a few chapters
Yeah,
in a
not like a
book.
full, but
Yeah,
like.
yeah. I think we get
Mhm.
a couple of like I could see us at some point, and I don't know if we could ever do it through Feyre's eyes again. Um,
No.
but I think that we could. I mean, Lucien probably has a lot of information about what's been going on
Yeah. Maybe
about
we'll just get
about
it from Lucian's perspective, like when we run
we
the.
might be like, we're like,
Uh,
he wasn't doing anything, and be like, well, we were thinking about going to Hybern, my bad, and like, then our theory is correct, and then he can
mhm.
also say things like, well, he was planning this and he planned this, but so far we have 47 years, 46 years and 9 months of not doing anything. He sent out some sentries for 2 years, and then he didn't do a fucking thing. And then the last few months, he was like, well, and he didn't even want to do it. His people begged him to go.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't understand Tamlin's character. I think that he's a fucking villain.
I think villains are more active.
Fair.
Yeah. No, oh, also, we always talk about Lucian's fox mask, but it will, he probably chose that for himself. So I do wonder what his intentions were, because I always thought he was given it or something, and I realized no, yeah, he probably just said, "All right, we're gonna wear a mask. I'm gonna wear a fox mask because I'm a double crossing bitch." Like, I don't know. It's kind of
I think we're supposed to think he's from Autumn Court. Foxes are like little woodland creatures. Got a little
maybe,
woodland creature vibe happening. But yeah, the underlining is that foxes are tricksters.
yeah, because I never thought that he would choose it. There's kind of more interesting if he chose
Yeah.
a fox himself. But yeah. Okay, sorry. I like how she goes, "Oh, Tamlin."
It's literally what I was going to talk about. Yes. So the
It's
wolf,
just
Andros, had just stared at me before I killed him, let me kill him so that I could bring about the chain of events so that Tamlin might stand a chance of breaking the spell. And if Tamlin had sent Andros across the wall, knowing that he might very well die, oh, Tamlin. And my question was, oh, Andros? Like,
yeah.
it just, I can understand being in a position of leadership and needing to send people out that you know are like lambs for the slaughter, right? That cannot be easy. I can see that breaking you,
Yeah.
all the things, fine. But they begged him to go because he wasn't doing anything.
Mhm. Yeah.
Feel bad for the sentinels who were like, bro.
Yeah, and it's like on this principle, like, oh, he didn't want to send them to their death, but it's also like you're sending them, you're fucking them over
People
either
are
way.
like, well, what was he supposed to do? Anything. He's the only one who was not obligated to be under the mountain.
Yeah.
He couldn't,
Yeah.
like, how is it that he hasn't? I mean, and we see it on the next page where she's like, but what of the king of Hybern? If she had conquered Prithian by herself and stolen his spell, then does he see her as a subordinate or as an ally? Exactly. Would have taken one little message from a fox mask to go be like, hey, where you stand on this bitch? You want to be on our side? It makes perfect sense that
Mhm.
Lucien was trying to get Tamlin to go to Hybern this whole time.
Yeah, no it
Because
does.
he's probably thinking, fuck the curse, that only saves you and me. What about the rest of them? We need an army, Tamlin.
Why didn't I guess Hybern was just like, well, it's not what I wanted to happen, but I don't give a shit. Is that like why he didn't come over and intervene himself? He's like, yeah,
I don't.
she went a little,
Yeah.
she's doing a little more than I told her to, but it's still getting the job done.
I'll jump in when she starts fucking up humans. I'll see what she can do all the hard work for now. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe
It makes
that
no.
must
I
be
don't
what it
know.
is.
It makes no sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it says they've been killed by others, human hunters, older women, perhaps. Are older women hunting?
Right.
And also, I guess it says a human girl willing to marry him. So if what, over 30 and suddenly you're not a girl, you're a older woman and not eligible.
Could you imagine? Tamlin is so. That's why he's frat boy energy right there. He's like, woohoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. She's like 35, bro. That's rough.
Like surely that's not his preference. That's something with the curse, right? He's not like that picky. Because arguably it'd be easier to seduce it seemingly in that culture an older woman might be easier to seduce.
Yeah, so when they didn't come back, Tamlin's bond with them as their lord and master, told them that they had been killed by others. So he goes and figures, so he goes to them and he, like, whatever bond he has, tells them that they've been killed
Mm-hmm.
by human hunters, older women, perhaps. So could you imagine Tamlin, like, walking somewhere and being like, his bond gets to see whatever the fuck he sees and find out whoever fucking killed him, and he's like, yeek, she's like 50, bro. That's not gonna work.
No way! Dude, no, no.
Tamlin,
I just
is
have to think
Tamlin the guy who
of his
drives the
face.
truck that says no fat chicks?
Definitely. Uh-huh. Yeah.
One
It
side
broke
says
him
no
so
fat chicks,
badly.
and the other side has the shocker sticker on his car. That's Tamlin?
Yeah. Yeah, that's Samlin. He would have a truck.
That says no fat chicks. Jesus Christ.
I've never seen that sticker.
Oh, I've seen
Is
it,
that
but I
a
used to
thing?
live in where I used to live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, it is funny how Alice, I feel like Alice is not the type to like pity Tamlin. You know, it broke him
Yeah.
so badly. But maybe it did, I guess, and she saw him cry real hard and she's like, it broke him. But to me, I go, I don't know, it seems like it's Tamlin Ganda.
Do you also find it weird that Tamlin has chosen to turn them into wolves because that will make them more likely to be killed?
How about a warren of rabbits? That's much more likely.
Yeah.
Just kidding. But
Or
seriously, like,
maybe just send your Fae over. You need to have someone who hates Fae. I would turn them into animals that totally exist in the human realm. And yeah, we see the
Yeah.
beginning where she's like, "Oh, he seems other like there might be more to this wolf. Maybe it's Fae." But like at the end of the day, it's a wolf.
Well, the wolf is, like, bigger,
But
right?
even still, at the end of the day, he's sending a wolf in. People are going to see that as a predator and need to protect themselves. They're not going to be killing it for hatred of fairies.
Yeah.
So how would the
Yeah.
curse even work? I'm sorry. I'm a young, hot, starving girl in the middle of a fucking village, and a wolf comes in. I'm gonna shoot it because I got family and they're starving. Or even if they're not, even if I'm one of these wealthy nobility bitches, right? Hey,
Yeah.
there's a wolf in my fucking front yard. I mean, I wouldn't do that now because that's crazy. But like,
Yeah.
or
Yeah. You're
you're
like,
out
that's
doing something somewhere on your farm. You're on your farm and there's a wolf. You're gonna shoot it. That's not because you hate fairies. It's because you're on a fucking farm and there's a wolf. Like that's my
yeah.
livestock and my chickens and my livelihood. I don't give a shit where it came from. It's not on my land. Like I just don't understand how. Why wouldn't you just send a fairy, knock on a front door, and everyone would be like, "Fuck that," and kill it?
Yeah, that's
That makes so much more
true.
sense. Hey, I need you to go. We're going to do a little retcon here. We're going to go check out this village here. I need you to go and figure out which house has some eligible chicks, and I need you to just knock on their door. And you're going to die because they're probably going to kill you. This would have been done.
Yeah, that is
This would have been
interesting.
done decades ago.
Well, and we kinda argued that, like, Feyre actually also didn't hate Faye, she was afraid of Faye, and
Exactly.
she was just trying to
And then
protect her
that's not
kill.
going to work either. You send a wolf to a farm, they're going to kill it because of practicality and fear, not out of hatred.
Yeah.
Tamlin,
That is
everything
funny.
you do is fucking flawed. Just send a Fae. Send the
Part of me
Fae.
thinks that's the flawed hole.
Send the Fae to Grayson, man. You'll get fucking jacked super fast there.
Yeah. He
Grayson's
had to
got
do it
assistant.
for the imagery.
But that's what I'm saying. The wolf is a choice.
Yeah.
The wolf is a
Yeah.
choice not
The
just
wolf
by
is
Tamlin,
definitely
but
a choice because it didn't make sense at all.
the wolf is a choice from Tamlin, and the wolf is a choice from Sarah.
Yeah. Hmm.
The sacrificial lamb to be slaughtered is a wolf. And then we see all the sacrifices. The sacrificial lamb to be slaughtered is the wolf pack.
Mhm.
Just saying.
Yeah, well, and, like, yeah, there's a lot of, like, wolf in sheep clothing, lamb in wolf clothing.
Yeah.
Rhys is kinda like that too, and, like, even Jurian, like, there's a lot of,
I feel
yeah.
like Tamlin is like it's just like he's a nepo baby who didn't have to do anything on his own, so he knows zero things about the fucking real world, and money buys him everything. He just doesn't get it, and he makes bad choices.
He does.
And then because he has to do something, not his daddy, not his money, he has to do something he does nothing for 47 fucking years.
Yeah, yeah. Hamlin. It is hard to imagine. Well, I am glad for the next part where she talks about the rebellion because I kind of forgotten about it and I was like, why don't people just fucking fight back? And I
Mhm.
guess this is like at least provide some reason, which we kind of read this earlier, but yeah, basically they did try 40 years ago and then they got punished real bad, so they didn't try again. I do think it's weird that they try with the children of the blessed. Like, why didn't they just
I thought it was interesting that they tried with the Fey territories on the other continent.
No, I think that too, but I'm just like,
So were they sending letters to Terrasen?
he said, Aelin, help us.
Right? Are they like
Yeah.
where are they sending letters to over there? Or are we going into marshes? Or are we talking to pirates? Perhaps assassins? Maybe flying people? Perhaps.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And Amarantha caught them all. How does she catch them all? I don't get it. She not have that much power? Maybe.
Well, I think they had gathered them in one spot
Yeah.
because it says Amaranthum caught them all before they left. Well, maybe not. Maybe it wasn't like a one sort of thing. But yeah, I don't know how she's catching all of them. Well, she got fucking spies everywhere.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Where are they now? Are they allowed to live in their lands? No, she keeps them and their entire courts under the mountain where she can torment them as she pleases. Okay, so it's not that she
But
summoned the
also,
high. the lords. They've been under there.
But she's summoned them again. Maybe she summoned them out of like whatever places they live
Out
under
of
the
their like
mountain.
prison, like
Yeah.
maybe they're like deep below or something. Yeah.
And then we get a nod to Rhys, right? Others, she pauses. Others, if they serve allegiance, if they grovel and serve her, she allows them a bit more freedom to come and go under the mountain as they will. That's Rhys she's talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
it
other
says just Reese.
and like other, not just High Lords, other people.
Mm-hmm.
But she's talking about High Lords, right? Where are they now? But then she says she keeps them and their entire court. So presumably she's not just talking about, like, it could be High Lords or anybody from these courts, if they swear allegiance to her, can come out for a bit.
Mm-hmm. Then we get some of her backstory.
Our court was only allowed to remain here until Tamlin's curse ran out. So they've just been bottled up underneath this mountain for 50 years, and Tamlin's been sitting in the fucking glen looking at starlight pools, biding his time. Could you imagine the anger that you would have if you've been under this mountain, you watched your dad get slaughtered, now you're the High Lord of a fucking group of people who have all been stuck under this mountain for 50 years, and the one person who's out there who could do anything is going, geez, I don't know.
Why don't they give him more shit, like in the at the High Lords meeting? You would think they'd be
Not a
like,
clue.
"Oh, are you gonna solve it, Tim? Are you gonna help us now?" Like you'd think they would just, I don't know.
What
He's such a
ideas
little
you bring to
shit.
the table, Tammy boy? You've got to have at least
Yeah.
one idea in 50 years, or was that just Feyre? That worked out real well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, so we get Alice's stuff. My sister and I served in the summer court. She and her mate were among those who were put down for spite when Amarantha first invaded. Okay, here's my theory. Alice is too lowly to be taken under the mountain, so why would Amarantha give two fucks about her sister and her mate? Her sister and her mate are put down out of spite. Why would you have spite for mates if you yourself do not have a mate who would rather
Yeah.
fuck a human?
She's like, anyone made it in the summer court, you're
Yeah.
dead. That does fit.
That fits. Because it makes no sense. She's like, she doesn't want them under the mountain. She's not going to give a shit about them.
And why would she delete workers, essentially?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could be like, oh, well, she said, like, she just killed them because, like, she's going into the area and she's killing everybody. And, like, it's not about the mates. She kills them out of spite because, fuck it, they don't matter anyway, so I'm just going to do it. But no, it says, like, it makes note that, like, she and her mate were among those put down for spite. Also, where the fuck did he hide them? I took the boys and ran before Amarantha had everyone dragged under the mountain. I came here because... So she drags everybody under the mountain, kills a few people out of spite, possibly the mates only.
Mm-hmm.
Then she goes with the boys to Spring. I came here because it was the only place to go and asked Tamlin to hide the boys. He did. Where?
I think no. Where is he hiding them? With his second family? Just kidding.
But, like, did she say that they were in summer? Did she say that she didn't say the boys were in summer, right?
No, they're hidden presumably somewhere in Spring Court.
The Spring Court. Yeah. And then she begs him to do anything to help repay or whatever, and he gives her a job.
Tamlin was desperate to save his people, desperate enough to risk the lives of his men, risk that human girl's life to save us. This winter, with months to go, he snapped. You killed him with hate in your heart.
He tried. He tried finding ways to break the curse, to do anything against it.
So presumably that's what he was doing for 50 years.
I would love
finding
to know
a loophole.
I would love to know what those are.
Yeah.
Trying to find ways to break the curse, to do anything against it, against having to send his men out to be slaughtered by humans. He thought that if the human girl loved true, then bringing her here to free him was another form of slavery. And he thought that if he did indeed fall in love with her, Amarantha would do anything that she could to destroy her. Again, there's so many... Like, it doesn't... The curse... The having the curse being broken by this thing that she's given him is the worst possible way to do this, and I could understand why Lucien was against it. Because, one, you gotta send out your sentinels to be killed. And they have to be killed by the right person in the right way. And if you do get the right person in the right way, then you got to get her to come here and fall in love with you. And if in the process you also fall in love with her, even though that's not a stipulation, so it's kind of weird that you even thought about it. But if you fall in love with her and you break the curse, then Amarantha is just going to be sitting under the mountain holding 6 high lords and their courts hostage still with all of their power. She's going to come for you. There's no freeing anybody. It's ending your curse minutes before you die. What forces are you going to rally after that? What are you doing, Tamlin?
Yeah, he did not have.
The fact that if we find out that Lucien this whole time is like, Hybern's good, let's go, he's got an army, we cannot be mad. I don't want to hear anybody being mad at Lucien for it.
Yeah, no, I don't think they will be.
Because it makes the most sense.
It does.
Why didn't he go to the human realms? Why didn't he go to the human queens? Why didn't he promise them some fucking god-awful bullshit and be like, hey, this chick wants to annihilate you. Let's join forces.
He just couldn't get over there. Like, Amarantha was
Bullshit.
catching people.
Bullshit. He jumps right over the wall and fucking busts it on Feyre. He can't. He's sending his sentinels over the wall every day for 2 years. He can get over there.
No, I think getting off of the shores, like the sea, that's where Amarantha was catching the other spies. So he couldn't get to the queens. Right?
Just saying. He sent his sentinels over the wall to be slaughtered. Yeah. And he himself went when fucking one of his sentinels sent a little boop 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 message back to him. I got killed by a cute girl. Come get her.
Yeah,
and he went right over the wall.
Did Amarantha, could she sense with his power that he was going over the wall? She must not be able to.
She must not care.
Yeah.
And if she didn't care, then why can't he go over the wall and try to send a message out? Yeah. Why didn't he go over the wall, find the children of the blessed there, say, send this message over?
Or just fucking pay a fucking
Why didn't he do
merchant?
anything? He did nothing. And he certainly wasn't in the library looking for shit either, because that shit had to be cleaned up.
Yeah. And then here we get more of Alice being weirdly upset.
Yeah.
And getting in her face.
But I had failed them, and in doing so, I had damned them all. No, you didn't. You were there for 3 months, and you didn't know about this curse. You were never going to find out. How could you have figured it out? Fuck off, Feyre. Alice is being way too hard on you.
Yeah, she's really, she's really intense.
You stupid, stupid girl. Wow. I wrote, calm down, Alice. Tam had 50 years and did fuck all to save Prythian. Faye had few months and 0 info. No.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. She says, tell that to Tamlin. Fuck Tamlin.
3 days and he let you go. Oh, it says she came here with her cronies at the exact moment the 7 times 7 years were over.
All right.
Yeah. If they are on bad terms, he has made no move to punish her. That's what Hybern about Amarantha.
I want to know where all these wicked Fae are. All the wicked Fae, all the wicked ones in our lands, the ones too awful even for the Night Court, flock to her.
What's the old racist, maybe?
I'm just saying. There's really wicked, horrible creatures that are not just in the Night Court. Mm-hmm. Like the ACOTAR, who's from Spring.
Yeah.
I just found it interesting that she said all the wicked ones from our lands, even the ones too awful for the Night Court. Like, that's implying that the Night Court, we're already being told the Night Court doesn't house the most evil. There are things,
actually, where are they?
There are things that are more wicked than those who reside in the Night Court.
I mean, I get that it's just Night Court propaganda shit, but also I'm like, so where are they from? Are they been hiding in the middle, maybe?
No, they're from other. All of the courts have wicked creatures. That's how wickedness works. It's not just to one court.
Because it makes it sound like the Night Court kicked them out or something.
That it's already telling you right there that the Night Court isn't the worst place to be in Prythian.
Yeah.
There's a little further down. I felt sick to think of what kind of company Tamlin was keeping. sick at the thought of him being so desperate, so stricken by guilt and grief over having to sacrifice his sentinels and never being able to tell me. And he'd let me go. How's she not mad at him, though? Let all their sacrifices,
Yeah.
let Andrew's sacrifice be in vain.
Well, this is like that toxic, like,
Yeah.
people love the trope where like the male main character would burn the world down for her, and always like, why would you like that? That just means he's willing to do evil shit and cross boundaries that shouldn't be, like, that seems like a terrible, like,
Yeah.
Xaden's like that, like, oh, whatever. But it's one thing to like sacrifice yourself or do terrible things for people that you love. It's another thing to, let their sacrifices be in vain because you gotta.
Yeah, not only do you
Yeah.
not sacrifice anything, maybe some guilt, right? Maybe you don't sleep
Mhm.
as well at night because you're sending your sentinels over. But like, let's be real, is that not what they're for? Like
Yep.
in Tamlin's
Just a
mind, not in
different
my
kind of
mind,
battle.
not in my mind, but in
No, yeah.
Tamlin's mind, right? Be
They're
like,
signed up to be like
they
army
they're signed
soldiers,
up for the military. Exactly.
which is silly, but it's what their job is. So,
I'm just like, what is Tamlin's greatest sacrifice? He gets his power stolen, but that's not a sacrifice, right? Like
no, yeah, he
that's
hardly has anything. Yeah.
his greatest sacrifice is that he has to send some of his men to go be slaughtered.
And he has to give up Feyre, his one love. Thematically, anyway, that's his
Yeah.
sacrifice. Um, yeah, this last part reads very dramatically to me because of those
Yes.
lines.
He had put me before his entire court, before all of Prithian, and I wrote, I guess.
I wrote like, I'm thinking like,
Why would you want that?
why
Why
are
would
we
you want that?
sacrificing?
He must love me so much that he put me
I don't
before his
want someone to love
court.
me like that.
No. Especially for Feyre to be like, ask me to fight, motherfucker. Ask me for help. I'll do what I can. And she
Yeah,
does.
yeah, she actually does. Yeah, don't
If he
commit
had
crimes
just
in
said,
my honor.
to you, right? I want your help. I can't fight this blight without you. I love you.
Well, because she really couldn't do anything as a human,
No,
right?
but he's lying to her left and right. So let's be real. If Rhys had come, even before Rhys came, if he had just said, because she offers her help a number of times, if he had said, "You're right. I think that actually you can totally be my salvation. Help me fight this blight. Be my partner, Feyre. Help me save my court. Help me save the land. I love you." She would have said, "I'm here. I love you." Curse broken.
Mm,
If he had let her think that she could help, if he had asked her and accepted her help and said, "I love you," she would have said it in a minute.
yeah,
But he
although
doesn't
it's
let her
Reese who makes
ever.
him like feel like he has to send her back.
But she offered her help before Rhys.
Yeah.
She said, "There's a blight on your land. What can I do to help?" And he said, "Nothing. This is on me. I'm the only one who could do anything. Push her away, push her away, push her away, push her away." And then tell her you love her at the last fucking minute while you're sending her away? Yeah, peace out, bro. Like, I've
Mm,
offered you my fucking heart. I've offered you my help. You don't want my help. You don't want me here. You think I'm going to be more work or make it worse or make you distracted or make everything much more complicated. I'm going to hinder you in all the ways. Why would I say I love you?
yeah.
It's bad enough that you love me. Now I'm already a fucking thorn in your side. It's insane to me that they're like, you should have just said it. No. If some
No,
guy was
Alice is
pushing,
wrong here. That's
yeah,
silly.
like if some guy was pushing me away at every fucking chance he got, and then finally when he's like, you gotta go home, I gotta send you home, it's not unsafe, it's not safe here, you gotta leave, never come back, but I'll see you, maybe it's a lie, blah blah blah. I love you. I would have kept my fucking mouth shut too.
Like, you're crazy. Yeah.
She can't use their powers. Did you catch that?
She keeps those powers locked up inside herself as if she can't use them. Whereas, yeah, maybe that's why she needed 50 years to stall. She was like, I gotta figure out how to use this to do the human shit.
Maybe. And so maybe, right? So when Feyre's like, if he got his powers back, could he fight her? Maybe, because she doesn't have access to the other High Lord's powers. She's
Yeah.
not so super overcharged that she can't be taken down. But even then, it's not like, yeah, because it would be different if the conversation was, Yeah, if he had his power, he could fight her and he could free all of Prithian, and that was the plan. But it's not. The plan is he's gonna break his curse, and we'll see.
Have we ever thought about like why doesn't someone just fucking stab her while she's sleeping?
I think Rhys says something at some point that like, she had all these walls up and she was really on guard even when she was in vulnerable positions with him, that like he couldn't be the one to do it.
Okay.
I think
Sorry, I
there's
couldn't help but thinking about it a little
yeah, I
bit.
think that there's walls because I think that there's a moment where Feyre's kind of like, why didn't you just like take care of it years ago? And he was like, yeah, it was not a possibility.
Okay. I do think probably both Rhys and Tamlin thought that they would eventually, like Rhys is sort of pretending to ally with Amarantha because he thinks that he's eventually going to outsmart her or something. And I think maybe that's the only thing I can sort of accept that Tamlin probably thinks is that he'll, okay, I'll go to the mountain and then I'll figure it out. We'll make it somehow.
He's had 50 years to come up with a plan though, dude. Like he
Yeah.
can't be winging it. Yeah, and so he's like, okay, well, that didn't work, so I'll just I don't think he has a plan. I think his plan is to just hold out under the mountain for forever.
Mhm.
He's to be her slave, and we're all to wear these masks until he agrees to become her lover. And even then, he'll never regain his full power, and she'll never let those under the mountain go. So they'll get the masks off if he bangs her, but she's not letting anybody go. So, like, that's where he's at. He's like, cool, well, that didn't work out, so I'm gonna hold out.
Yeah. Probably some of these things are just not thought through all the way, which is not as fun to think about, which is
Well,
why,
or
but
right? You also, let's be real, we're a weird little fan base and we're crazy tearing everything apart. Most books don't go through this kind of scrutiny, right?
yeah, true, true, true.
Like this we're doing something with her book that most books don't go through. We're rigorously reading, we're asking all the questions, we're doing literary analysis. Like the book is supposed to be fun, right?
Yeah.
So like we're the crazy ones. And if there's a
It's
plot
fun
hole,
to
it
be
happens.
crazy.
Yeah, but like if a plot hole happens, but also you've
Not
also
like
set
mean or
out,
evil or stupid or whatever. This
you've
came out
also
10
set
years ago.
out, yeah, but you've also set out to create a universe of
You think
books
she
that
meant to at
over
this point?
absolutely.
Oh.
There's word gates.
Yeah, but maybe it was a fun Easter egg until she was like, actually,
No.
let's make this a thing. You think she, okay.
I think
Hmm.
by like book 3 of Throne of Glass, she was like, "Oh, I'm going to make this other thing. I'm going to make this bigger thing."
Okay.
At
Yeah,
the very because right, I don't know about the timing, right? When the first ACOTAR book comes out in what but Throne of Glass wasn't finished then, right?
no, it was like Air of Fire or
Which
Crown
is
of
what
Midnight.
book 4?
Air Fire's third.
Yeah.
Wait, Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Air of Fire. They're
Okay,
Air of
so
Fire, so
in the
depending
third
on where
book, she's
Assassin's
probably
Blade
yeah.
falls.
So let's just assume that it at the very least by the third book of Throne of Glass, she had an idea. Maybe even if we want to be super whatever,
Hmm.
at the very least by the last Throne of Glass book, we have a Feyre Rhysand
Yeah,
moment.
and that does feel like an Easter egg, but yeah, maybe it was always intended to be bigger. But that comes out in that's like the same year as
So I'm just saying,
ACOTAR.
if you
Yeah,
intend to set out to create this huge universe where there's going to be hints and Easter eggs and sleuthing and all the things, then maybe get your plot a little bit in.
yeah.
And this isn't her first book she ever wrote. She got editors, she got people.
So, and maybe it's not
So I
plot
don't
holes in it. There is an explanation for it, and we'll get it. But it feels sometimes when we go in circles like this, it just is like, yeah, it's Tamlin can't be that bad because people aren't that bad. And I know we're talking about Faye, but we're always talking about people because this
yeah,
is
we're always talking about
we're
people, yeah.
reading for humans. But so like I just it's really hard to believe, but maybe. And then Feyre's like, I'm gonna do it. If he were freed, and she's like determining, and she's like gonna, and then the whole thing with Alice being like, you'll die.
I hate this part. You were too blind to see Tamlin's curse. How do you expect to face Amarantha? You'll make things worse. You were too blind to see her curse. What information did you give her?
Yeah, that's I always think I'm like I do not get Alice in this chapter. Just like
You were too blind to see
maybe she's
Tamlin's
just
curse.
hating on humans in general. Like humans don't see obvious stuff like magical curses. So you don't stand a chance. Maybe it's just she just
I
thinks that
just
humans just what a Fae could have sensed it or something.
I can see her being like, I know you were given like no information, but we tried and you didn't catch any of it or very little of it. And I know that we blindfolded you and you couldn't see it, but that's the kind of games that Fae play. And if you
Hmm.
couldn't put the pieces together even a little bit with what we gave you, then you're not going to be able to put anything together of what Amarantha does because she's not going to give you any pieces. We at least tried to give you pieces.
Hmm.
That's a little bit kinder. That puts the onus on them, right?
Yeah,
I get
although
that
she is probably just in a she's gathering food as she
yeah.
does this, but
I get
yeah.
it. She's mad, she's scared, she's all the things. I get it. But like you were too blind to see his curse. The fuck was that? I trapped a Suriel, and that motherfucker didn't tell me shit either.
Yeah, it's yeah. I like Alice in the rest of the series, but this is that chapter. I'm like, yo,
Tamlin will remain her slave forever, and Prythian will stay under her rule. That's what fate dealt. That's what the eddies of the cauldron decided.
the Eddies,
I don't believe in fate, nor do I believe in this ridiculous cauldron, which is hilarious because she has a fated mate, and her sisters be in that cauldron.
and she's gonna be the Mother Reborn,
Mm-hmm. Not the High Queen.
not the High Queen. Absolutely not.
Finally, we get to some chapters that are doing some shit. I'm super excited. We said 33 and 34 will be together, right?
30 no 30 oh yeah 33
Yeah,
and
33
34
and
will be
34 will be
together.
together because
We
there's
end with her getting punched by the Ator.
yeah.
um
This is the meme. This next chapter is the meme where Feyre walks up and it says, "Do not enter under the mountain," and she's just like, "Mom can't read," and keeps going.
It's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that there's a ton of information in this chapter. I love this chapter because like finally we get the things. Alice is a little harsh, but like you mad, so go off. I think that we're giving Tamlin way too much sympathy for what
Yep.
he has not done. We're putting way too much pressure on Feyre, um, or at least blaming her for things that were out of her control. And yeah,
Yeah. And she resolves to maybe die for Tamlin at the end.
yeah.
That is some 19-year-old shit.
She does, right? At least he'll know I loved him. I came back for him. If she kills me in front of her, then at least he knew. Could you imagine if she did do that? Like, I mean, just imagine the
That's where the story
ridiculousness
ended.
of
She just did die, and that
yeah,
was it.
yeah. And then Tamlin does what? I fucking knew she loved me.
Yeah, maybe it inspires him to change everything and
It doesn't inspire him to do
yeah.
anything. Yeah, no. If anything, it would make him more mad that he was that close and then it didn't work. He'd be like, "Well, the fate
Yeah.
decided that wasn't. I was supposed to be here," and he would just fucking roll over. Yeah. All right. Well, we will continue our adventures of Tamlin bashing. In our next.
Yes.
Oh, so much Tamlin bashing. I can already feel it.
In the
But
next oh
But
yeah.
finally, we're gonna get to some trials, which I actually don't hate in this book, and we're gonna get some Lucien building, which we need to fucking crazy dissect, and we're gonna get lots of Rhys poo action.
Lucien building. What do you mean Lucien building?
Oh, because like we get a lot of like Lucien bonding, and we get a lot of
Oh, like
Lucien in
his
the next few.
character. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. And I need to dissect everything that he says, because
Yes.
we've got theories about that motherfucker.
Dude, seriously.
Yeah. Okay. Well, to the stars who listen, we will see you next week.
See you next week.